Hello friends, in this video we are going to look at UiPath's process discovery tool that they've come up with that is going to be it's already very helpful to business analysts and subject matter experts, as well as for anyone who is trying to business processes faster and more efficiently instead of having to start from scratch, and it's like your best friend. So let's look at Task Capture right away. So when you click on Task Capture, it presents you with a couple of options. One of the options is to create a diagram step by step, and the other one is to capture the process as you click through the different parts of the screen and capture your process. So let's start with the capture process flow first and see how that works out for us. Okay, so when you initiate the capture process by clicking on the capture process icon here, and then the process gets started. As you see on the right hand side, you are presented with a little box that shows that UiPath is actually capturing the actions, and it also shows a count of the number of actions. Currently we haven't captured any, and you have the option of pausing the recording as well. So I have created a folder here by the name 2021, and I'm about to update one of the tabs in the spreadsheet in this folder. So let's do that right now. As we are going through these different steps, you will see the number of actions increases. So let's double click on the UiPath project hours file. What I want to do here is to make a copy of this particular tab and then paste it in a new tab. And what this tab is actually doing, it's nothing but calculating the number of hours for the project team and then determining the amount that has to be billed for the particular month on this project. And it looks at the contract award, what is the remaining financial balance on that particular contract award. And then it deducts the amount that gets billed for this particular month, and then you have the contract balance. All right, so for me, we have to rename this particular spreadsheet. I'm gonna call it UiPath Project Hours May 2021. Let's assume we are in June or July. And here let's see we notice that the contract remaining should be updated to the previous month. So for May, we would be deducting the April spreadsheet contract balance. So there you go, we have successfully taken the amount from the April 2021 balance sheet, which was 515. Yes, it has been pulled over here, and then we determined that, hey, maybe the project manager just worked 60 hours in May. The business analysts probably had to do most of the work to make up for the team, and then that was your grand total for the month. And so those were all the updates, and you have determined that that is all that has to be done, and you hit save, and then you stop capturing. All right, so let's see what gets generated by Task Capture. We have the flow that is presented to us by Task Capture. Once it's presented as a flowchart, and if you click on each of these individual boxes, you will see that you have the ability to update each of these images. Not only that, you can provide a title for each. So open file in 2021 folder, excuse me, and then you can provide a description. You also have the ability to go back to the flow, go to the next set of sequences in the particular workflow that you have, double click on the first one. You can also zoom into it by clicking on the plus sign here. The other thing you can do is you can, if you have certain sensitive data that you want to blur, you can take advantage of this blur feature, and you just highlight the data that you want to blur, and there you go. It's definitely helpful for PII data. For those of you who are working with sensitive data and you don't want certain fields to be seen by the development team, then you can definitely take advantage of the blur feature. You can also add text here that highlights a certain activity that is performed. Say you want to mention this is capturing May hours, and I will reduce the font here to 24. Okay, and you can just move it here if you want. You also have the ability to change the font for it. You can underline it, you can change the font color to whatever you want, and then you also have the ability to crop the image to whatever size you want to crop it to, and then hit crop. And you can also add arrows if needed, what I captured, right? This is your arrow, and this is how you want to delineate that. Hey, we're capturing May hours here, and yeah, and then you can go back to the original flow, and then all right, maybe at this point you have determined that this is all that needs to be done, and maybe you have some other pages within this particular flow that may be redundant. Then you also have the ability to delete some of these images if needed. You can edit them, you can copy them, you can save the individual images that have been captured as screenshots that you may want to email somebody. So you have a whole host of options available, and then finally you can export this data in two different formats. One is as a Word document that exports the information as a process document that actually has the whole as is process captured. So let's do that first. I want to call this process flow for updating monthly project hours, right? That's what we're doing. Hit next. You choose a template. Say I just want to use the UiPath PDD template here, and then hit export. You choose where you want to save it, and I'm going to choose this. Yes, I'm going to just overwrite the file that I already had, and let's see the output that gets generated, which is the Word document that we're expecting. Okay, open file, and here you go. You have a process definition document that is customized for us. It is all generated here for you by UiPath. It has an as-is process, and the information is updated based on whatever you have provided, starting from the screen capture to the different individual steps. And it also makes a note of the different updates that you have made to the individual screens. So like I said, folks, this is exceptionally valuable and a very helpful tool for PMs and business analysts and pretty much the entire team. It also has documented the estimated time that each of the tasks have taken on each screen. Alright, now that we have looked at this first option, let's take a look at the other option that we were presented with, which was, if you go to file format, the other option is capturing the flow that can be exported to UiPath Studio. Because what is generated now is a UiPath sequence that can be provided directly to the developers, and they can elaborate on each of the individual steps that are presented to them by this particular flowchart that gets opened in UiPath Studio. So that was it, folks. The first option was creating the document as a PDD, which can be handed off to the development team as well as to the PMs or your entire team, if you would, for them to look at the entire process flow that's captured. And the other option is to create a XAML file that can be handed off to the development team, and they can take it from there to do the actual elaboration using UiPath Studio. Alright, hope you enjoyed this short video. Enjoy Task Manager. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.